So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
This is terrible. Okay. Please don't let me die. Please.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
Alright, YouTube, what's poppin', and welcome to the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. I do not know what to expect in this game. I think it's like some voice high above. Maybe the voices in my head are giving me instructions and shit. I don't know. I guess I'm just trying to find a way out of the workplace. I don't know. I've never played the original Stanley Parable, and I decided it would be a nice change of pace from the horror genre I've been subduing myself to, so yeah, let's get into it. Never the end. The end is never the end. Is loading. I don't know what kind of hidden message there is, but okay.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple.
So pretty much
He
like
sat at his
Amazon.
desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Oh, okay, so now I'm moving again. So now I guess I can leave my office. But what if I don't want to? Also, it feels like I'm like sliding on butter. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Hello? Open? Okay, nope. None of these doors open for me. Cool. Even though I don't think this is supposed to be a horror movie, or game, this feels kind of scary. Also, what is up with this hallway? Is this a goddamn prison? Okay, I guess I go around. Please be no jump scares.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Listen. I don't know.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Who just changed the slide? How would it solve this speed recorder? Let it ball up inside of you. Take it out. Okay, I was reading that ass. Use the slide to assure employees that everything is okay. Make sure your slides has a slick blue graphic. Oh, I see. That's funny. That's funny. Okay. Broom closet.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
There was nothing in here. There's a broom in here. I'm
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I guess I'll listen to this dude for now and then I'm gonna rebel at some point. I don't know what to expect in this game. Executive bathroom. Ooh. Wow. Oh my god, this is nice. Because the boss knows, that's what the boss says goes. If the bosses suffered losses, then that's what the bosses chose. Huh. Interesting. What other stuff I should be picking up?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him, and so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
This is starting to feel terrifying. Is this still in my building? What is happening? Okay, this is starting to get a little weird. That looks like death, so I don't know if I should jump down. Oh well, let me see. Oh, never mind. It's an elevator, okay. I couldn't see it because it was dark as shit. I thought I was falling to the abyss. Alright, so interesting so far. I still don't know what to make of it. I don't even know if I should be like ignoring this dude at some point, just because I don't know.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Okay, I did not appreciate that. Alright.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
I'm not gonna lie, that actually scared the shit out of me a little bit. Oh. Well, I don't want to go there. I'm gonna escape.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death. Now that he said that, I kind of want to reconsider. Oh, what the hell? Let's see what happens. The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. No. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death. I'm pretty sure he's lying. There's no way I'm gonna die. Oh. I'm pretty sure he's lying. As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. No! Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world
Please,
is.
get me out of
Perhaps
here!
his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
This is terrible. Okay. Please don't let me die. Please. Oh.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Oh my god. The script. It changes. The Stanley Parable.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
Okay. I feel like I'm gonna get blindsided and killed.
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
What? There's a lot to unpack right now. Oh, okay, I see. So this is my office. This is where I started. And I went through this way. Corridor, and then, yeah. The two-way door. Interesting. So... okay, I don't know what that does. What's over here? Oh, there's just a lot of shit. Warzone. Huh. What kind of fucked up experiment are they doing to me here? Okay, there's another switch. What is that room? Hello? Her beeping behind me. I didn't like that. This game is low-key a little terrifying, but I'm in for it. I'm into it right now.
Now then, this elevator for sure will get him right back on track to where he was supposed to.
I don't like that room. There's a lot of voices. Alright. Can I run? I can't run. Alright, so how do I reset this? These doors are just props, so I can't go through them. It must be what I saw earlier up here. Exit?
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
I want to be free. Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
Oh.
But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail.
Are you about to kill me this
Turn
time?
off your PlayStation. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice.
Am I about to die for real?
Choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
I did die for real this time. Oh my god, this game is a mindfuck. Okay. Oof. That was a pretty wild dream. Okay, now let's go.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
You know, I kind of want to start ignoring him a bit. Actually, no, I'll listen to him for now. At some point, though, I will probably just ignore him straight up.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Oh my god, if he would
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
This time, I'm
Stanley
not
walked straight
going
ahead
to
through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
mind control facility. Interesting. Okay.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
Is this Cerebro?
What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself.
reference for
Did he have the strength to find out?
My Professor X, but with working legs. Okay.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
This is kind of weird. This is really weird. Oh, they got fired over there. Poor bastard. Alright, get me out of here. There's something
This
weird
mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time?
Kinda like
Was
how
this
I
the
am
only
right now.
reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it.
It sounds
He
like there's
couldn't
already a
accept
company
it.
that already
His
does
own
that.
life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Okay. Wait, they have buttons on them. Okay, let me push one of them. What is 3? Push 3. Nothing? Okay, I guess I'm gonna come back here later. Mind controlling idle. Waiting input. Oh.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Oops.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself? Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system.
What?
In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now.
I changed my
Shape
mind.
it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere
there a way to
moments
avoid
until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start.
There's a door.
What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated.
You bitch!
All right, I'm in a
You
good
fucking
mood.
bitch!
You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times,
Fucking
I let the office
please,
sink
get
into
me
the
out!
ground,
Help!
swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing.
Is there a way
Watching
out?
you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm
You
sure whatever I
pretentious
come up
prick.
with on the next go-around will be even better.
Fuck.
My goodness, only 34 seconds left.
Help,
but I'm
please.
enjoying this so much.
I'm
You know
sorry.
what? To hell with it. I'm going
I'll
to put some
listen
extra
next
time on the
please
clock.
get me
Why
out of
not?
here.
These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything,
Sorry, you
anything,
put
something
too many
here will
buttons in front
save
of
me.
I couldn't help it.
Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is?
Oh my god, he's sick.
Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control
Oh
this
my
world,
god,
that's
he's
fine.
edging my
But I'm
death.
going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then
God,
nothing.
he's
No
sick.
end here. Just you being blown to pieces. Will you
my
cling
God.
desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me.
Fucking
All
I'll
a part
stare
of
my
the joke.
death in the
And believe
face.
me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say happily ever after.
Oh my god, this guy's a sicko. I don't like this anymore. This man's a sicko. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Guess I'll listen
what
to
could
this
it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. The moment he entered his manager's office, Stanley froze in his tracks. Not a living soul anywhere. Could he? Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
This man is trolling me right now. Are you serious? Please, let me go.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Okay, I learned my lesson. I'm not touching that one. Why was that terrifying? I feel like I should. Oh my god, I'm scared. I don't know even if I can move. Did I beat the game?
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty.
Am I dead?
Was it over?
Did I just power down?
Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him.
Yeah,
For
I
it
didn't
was
care about
not
my
knowledge
coworkers
or
anyway.
even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know.
Watch, this is just a
It
fake
was
TV
perhaps
screen.
the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
This is not a door. I don't believe it. Oh.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen.
I'm about to
And
get
Stanley was happy.
Okay, I thought I was gonna get sniped or something. Beat the game. Alright, it was that easy. Thanks for watching. Cue the outro. I'm just kidding, of course. There's still more I want to do in this game. It's crazy. That's all I had to do was listen. Alright, now I'm gonna
All
start.
of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Alright, I'm gonna start by ignoring him. I wonder if I can start now. Actually, I don't think there is a way for me. Oh, I picked up something. Alright. I think the first choice he gives me, which is left or right door, I think I'll start ignoring him.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
No.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Oh wait, these numbers are going up. Maybe I can come across that one office, 528.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Speaking of, can I get a drink? Ah, damn it, damn. Never fix a damn soda machine.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Yeah, I'm taking it all in. I wonder how annoyed he'll get if I don't leave. Let's see.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
Okay, now that's just mean. That's kind of fucked up. You didn't have to go that far. Okay, that makes me feel bad. I'm gonna leave. He hurt my feelings.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
First open door to the left. No. Keep ignoring him.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Yeah, I say that every day when I go to work. Alright. You said second door on the left, right? That's what I did. Okay. Oh, I need a key card. I wonder if there's one I can find on the left. Penalty for misuse of conduct. Oh, shit.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot
Oh
here.
my god, I really
I'm not
am
your
back at
enemy,
Amazon.
really, I'm not.
I hate this.
I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Asking for her.
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Ooh. Okay, now I'm intrigued. Am I about to get jumped? Hey, I changed my mind. I want to go back. Okay, so I really could go back. Okay, I guess I'll go to the dark hallway. Probably die.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her.
What
if
is
you can
happening?
truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Hello? Oh.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting.
Huh?
I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Oh.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
That was mean. Although I could just ignore him and explore.
Sorry, but you're in my story now.
Oh my god, I think I really fucked up. No.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
What? Good morning, employee. I guess I have to?
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
That's mean. This is mean. Oh my god, I have a fucking cuck chair in my apartment. No wonder why I don't have a wife.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
I hate this.
But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown. fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly. So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
He's that petty about the fucking door. Oh my god, I hate this man.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
I hate how petty this guy is. He is so fucking childish. I hate him.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Alright, I'll tell my fake wife I love her.
But there is no answer.
Okay.
How could there possibly be?
Alright,
In reality,
I can't
all
have
he's doing
anything!
is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed.
Fuck!
The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets. The more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this. That in this world he can never be anything but an observer. That as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Oh my god, I'm sorry. I'll go to the left door next time, I promise.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
I hate how petty the narrator is. He did all of that just because I chose not to go through the left fucking door. That is a whole new level of petty, and I hate it. Oh my god. What a fucking ass. Alright. What did I learn? I'm gonna go through the left fucking door this time. Jesus Christ. Actually, I said that wrong. Okay.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad, Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Quelle surprise.
Okay, that was interesting. He just did all that for me. I guess he's getting tired of my shit too. Alright, so this time, instead of exiting, I'm gonna try to turn around and see if I can find the secrets. Alright, well, I'm probably going to cut out that last part because it turns out my theory was wrong. It didn't let me turn around. It just made me exit and beat the game again like that. Alright, so...
All of his co-workers were gone.
Again.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I learned my lesson. So fucking picky about the left door. All right.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Okay. Someone different in the closet? Nope. This time, I'm gonna go downstairs.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh. Why is that car on?
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy.
Yeah, that's why I
All
did
of my
this.
co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
Oh yeah, I already thought that from
Why
the
did
beginning.
doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real.
Not another
And at
petty
last,
lesson!
he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon.
I wanted to say I hate how petty he gets for just not doing one simple thing he asks. This narrator is so fucking petty. I hate it so much. I hate it.
I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons.
1, 2,
I
B.
may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job, All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay. Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Who?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
I just can't. This guy is so petty. I hate him so fucking much. Okay. I don't know what else I can do right now. Alright. I will say, I think there was a door I can go through towards the very end before I push the button that said turn off mind control. So I'm probably going to fast forward myself to that door.
Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever they were. Just a matter of time.
Oh. Or new content.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
I can't go back this way. I'm gonna go that way. Okay, I guess I'll go this way then. Are you gonna punish me for going off script again? Because I don't want to be punished. I can only withstand so much pettiness.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content. Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure. Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, here we go. All right,
okay,
finally,
we're on the
at
same
long
page.
last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
I don't know if he's playing along or he's doing another bit and he's just gonna be like...
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if them... Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
This man's gonna do some petty shit. The jump circle.
All right. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Is this it? I wonder if I jump any more past the remaining jumps if something will happen. Oh, okay. That's it? Okay. Well, that was fun.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness, another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And if... Oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
I feel like he's doing another petty bit. I can't. I don't trust his narrator. Thank you for enjoying the new content.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens
this room
when
has a
greedy
cup chair.
video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's trophies, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test trophy, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
I don't trust you. I wouldn't even say friend. Okay. Let's see. Let's see what happens now. Oh. This is different. This is all different.
Psst! Stanley! Come over here! In the vent! I want to show you something!
Okay. Listen, free coffee cup. Coffee nut? Nice. Nice. Put that on a shirt. Oh, okay, we're in it.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
What the? This is fucking Indiana Jones now? Where am I? Okay. This game is something.
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Interesting. I don't trust this man still, but I'll play.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap PlayStation port? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Oh my god, it's a Steam page! Ah, that's funny. That's funny. Oh, I made it there. 2013. Oh, okay, okay. Nice, nice, interesting. Buy on pressured rise gas. What is this? 2014 Independent Game Fest. Oh, so cool. So it's like little achievements and small little things dedicated to the game. Cool. Nice, nice, nice. I like this. You know what? I'm satisfied with this little area. This is pretty cool. Like a cool little Easter egg, kind of. Oh my god. First dollar bill. Oh my god. That's probably... Can I steal this? I can't steal it. Okay. Smile because it happened. Cool, cool. A nice little memento right here. Demo. Oh, I guess I had a demo. New video game release, nice. Ah, yeah, me passing out because I'm crazy. Okay, just said.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now, a lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
What's down here? Memory zone maintenance. Okay, well, I don't have authorization down there. Is that Minecraft? Oh my god, it's Minecraft. Holy shit. Is that Ray's house? Cool. Nice little collectible. Wait, is that what I look like? Nice.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. All they had to do was transport it in pristine condition along to the PlayStation, boom, done. And they couldn't even do that. Couldn't resist the urge to go meddling with a beloved franchise.
Jesus, did it do that badly on PlayStation? I think he's trying to tell me something here. Okay. Well, I can't enter this room, sir. The Sirius. Oh, I remember seeing memes about the Sirius room. I remember videos about that. Okay, well, I can't get past this. I don't know what he wants from me. Okay.
These were simpler times, Stanley. What I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again.
Oh, this door is open now.
Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
Back in killer frequency.
Oh no, oh God, no, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely popular online storefront for computer games. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Oh, these are probably gonna be negative reviews. Let's see. Yep, I knew it.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny? I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
More negative reviews down here.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness.
I'll say you're
This is
more
actually
petty
quite
than
shocking
preachy.
for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did, but maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure.
Oh, I felt
Like I let these people down.
I felt kind of bad.
Perhaps the Stanley
feel really
Parable
bad now.
isn't
I'm
quite as
sorry.
sterling as I always remembered. What's this one got
Are
to
these
say?
real reviews is what I'm curious
You
about.
constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening.
I have to look up these
I
reviews.
wish there
to
was
see
a
if
skip
these
button.
are real.
A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's
What?
always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Am I gonna drown? Okay, no. What's the point of having a board if I wouldn't drown? Okay.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, you're back, you see? You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe...
Okay.
Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes?
Nothing else?
It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God. Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time, just sitting here, not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Oh, hello, it's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time, I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past.
Hello? You there? Maybe I push it again. Oh, I didn't know there's a tree there. Still no door to exit? Nope. Okay, I think I really made him mad. I think he's really mad at me. Oh god, I fucked up.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain...
He's really pissed. Oh, okay. Am I just stuck in this room forever? I would like to leave.
The end is never the end, 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 is...
I don't even know what's going on there. Okay, get me out of here. Hello? What happened? Buddy, you here? I feel kind of bad. Sorry, next time we'll sit and listen to all your rambling. Oh. Life. Nice. Still no exit. This is getting scary. Fast forward. Fast forward, please. Please, 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 please. Oh, exit, yes. Get out of there. Huh? Guys, not just walk through the desert? Okay. So that was interesting. I didn't even know what to make of that bit right there. That took so fucking long. But okay, cool. Alright, I think that's what I'm gonna leave off with for now. I know there's much more I can explore in this game. But yeah, let's leave it there. It's already almost midnight over here where I'm at. But yeah, if you make it this far, thank you for watching. And please feel free to leave a like and subscribe. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.